All right, so we're back down here in the underground warehouse. We're going to pick some orders for you. What do we got going out today?
We have 10 orders going out for $234.
All right, let's get to it, see what we got.
Yeah.
I think the first thing we got, if you want to roll through these records here, I pulled these out ahead of time just because it's easier. So we got 3 records that we sold.
Yep. We've got Eddie Money, Nothing to Lose, partially sealed. The Eddie Money, Can't Hold Back. And the Billy Idol, self-titled.
And how much did these sell for?
So the Nothing to Lose sold for $14.95 plus shipping. The Billy Idol self-titled sold for $10.95 plus shipping. And the Eddie Money Can't Hold Back sold for $8.95 plus shipping.
Perfect.
We are way in the profit on our vinyl. After we sold our first 4, we had made back all the money that we had spent on it. So we're doing really good with the vinyl so far. So
nice. And I was out tonight spending our profits on Han Solo sealed in carbonite.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know what I'm going to do with him yet, but that's where he's at for now. Gina loves him. All right, what's our next order?
Okay, up next is the Wii Sports.
Wii Sports. So this thing is a little gold mine, if you're not aware. Wii Sports is a super hot game. Every time we list it, it sells that same day. So this one sold in about an hour. How much did it sell for?
$27.95 with free shipping.
Yeah, Wii Sports.
We got that in our previous video as part of a Wii lot that we got at the thrift store for 20 bucks. So we're already in the profit on that. We haven't even sold the Wii yet, so. Okay, next up is Dune Exposures, the hardcover book from 2024, new and sealed.
Alright, I know where this is. Because it's right here. So this one we just picked up at the thrift store. Gina found it. Sealed, brand new. Never opened, for 99 cents. And it sold for
$29.95 with free shipping.
$29.95 free shipping, so 25 bucks. Excellent.
Up next is the WWE Kofi Kingston Elite Wrestling Figure Series 4 XO1B.
Good old Kofi here. I don't actually know who he is. I used to watch wrestling as a kid. That was like 100,000 years ago. And those guys don't wrestle anymore. So, Kofi, for how much?
$19.95 with free shipping.
$19.95 with free shipping.
All right, next is the 1950s Marks O Scale 1666 Steam Locomotive YO2A.
Do you believe that's this one right here? Does that look like the right one?
Yep.
This thing's heavy. All metal. They don't make them like that anymore.
So this one was missing some parts. We had it listed, and somebody actually let us know. We thought it was a Lionel train, but it was a Marks train. Somebody let us know that, so we updated the listing. And somebody asked us if we would do about $3 less because of some of the missing parts, and we said yes. We're way in the profit on our trains. So we said yes, and we took an offer of $17 plus shipping.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, up next is the Nintendo Wii Just Dance 1, 2, 3, 4 bundle game lot.
I think this just about does it for the Just Dance for us.
Yep, it does.
So this all came from that Wii lot from just the other week. Bought we off of Marketplace, came in a whole bunch of games. Sold off most of the games now. So Just Dance 1, 2, 3, and 4 for
$36.95 plus shipping.
nice.
All right. Up next is the New Yorker magazine lot of 7 issues, bundled September through December 2014. BO6D.
I guess it's the one that says New Yorker on it. So, this is a bunch of issues from 2014. 7 issues. New Yorker from 2014. So you used to have a subscription to the New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
We had hundreds of these things.
Yeah.
So this is the last 7.
Mm-hmm.
I divided them all up by year. Most of the years were pretty complete, actually.
Yeah.
And they sold very fast.
Pretty quick, yeah. For what? Just about like a little over $1 an issue?
I forget if it was, I think $1 or $2 an issue is about what I priced it at.
Range, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, they sold super fast. About 42 issues or so per year, I think. Yeah, so those are all gone now. So if you ever thought the old New Yorkers were worth anything, they're worth at least $1.
Yeah, we sold this one for $7.96 plus shipping. It was part of our 20% off sale, so that's why it's a little bit less than $10. So
just trying to clean out the cobwebs.
Yep.
Make room for our spring hauls right around the corner here.
Okay, and the last item for today is Needful Things, Stephen King, First Book Club Edition, BO6C.
This is the First Book Club Edition? I just got to double check and make sure this isn't the first edition, and that it is indeed the book club edition. So a little trick with these, it's got a price tag in it, so that is not the book club edition. I open this up to the copyright page. Let's just do that. So you see these numbers here, 1 through 10. That's the print runs. So because it's got the number 1 there, this is actually the first edition, because it has a price and it has that number 1. So this is not the book club edition that we're looking for. Alright, if at first you don't succeed, try some more. Is that the saying? So this looks more right. This one doesn't have the fancy gold on the lettering. So we'll double check inside here and make sure this is the book club edition. Put them in these bags to protect them down in the basement, but just want to be careful taking it out so I don't damage the cover. Alright, yeah, so we open this up. This one's missing the price tag, so that immediately tells me this is the jacket, at least for our first for a book club edition. And then if I get to the copyright page here, it does not have any numbers signifying what print run it is, just because they have an infinite number of book clubs, I guess. So, book club edition. Very nice copy, though.
So for $8.95 plus shipping.
$8.95 plus shipping. So not a huge amount of money, but if you can get these for $1 or $1, I think that's worth it. For some of these are worth it. All right, that's all we have for today's orders. That's it. We're gonna ship them out of here. All right, so we just shipped out a couple of Stephen King books. We got a little mix up there where they were on the wrong shelf, and noticed that one of them was a book club edition, one of them was a first edition, first print. So that sprouted the idea, why don't we go over How to Tell Stephen King First Edition, which can also carry over into other kinds of books. So I have a couple of different styles of books throughout the years that we can kind of look at some examples and point out how you can tell whether or not they're a first edition or not. There's a really good resource online. This is how I learned how to tell these, specifically for Stephen King books, StephenKingCollector.com. So I'll put a link up, maybe down in the description, and they have actual YouTube videos that has a collector go through the book and show you exactly what the key points are to look for to be able to tell that they're actually a first edition, first print of that book, which can make some of these Stephen King books worth a lot of money. So it's very important to know what you have. Okay, so here we have The Stand. It's not a first print of this book. First print of this book is worth about $1,000, and I'm not lucky enough to have that in my collection yet. But this is an early edition. We see that there is a price in the inside dust jacket. It is $19.95. So when this book originally came out, it was $12.95. So that's something that we're looking for. And then if we look at the copyright page, I don't think it's going to tell us anything. Nothing really useful. I think the copyright page on all of these is pretty much exactly the same. So the thing that we're going to look for in these very early editions is on a specific page in these books.
In the back?
Yeah, it's a certain page depending on which book you're looking at. There's what they call a gutter code. So this one has AA48 is the gutter code. But what we're looking for first edition is T39. So this is not a first edition. Although this is a valuable book, maybe 60 or 80 bucks, and it's a very nice edition. Alright, so here we have Stephen King, It. This is a fantastic novel, by the way, one of my favorites. This is an example of what we just saw down in the basement warehouse, where when we open this up, there is no price on the inside dust jacket. So that's immediately going to tell me this is probably going to be a book club edition. Now we look at the copyright page, and if you look at this copyright page, if we're going to set this right next to a first edition, they're going to look exactly the same. So there's no really identifying factors to look for there. So that's how we can tell that this is a book club edition. Alright, so here we have an example of Stephen King's It, first edition, first print. So there's a couple of things that we're looking for. First off, when we look on the inside dust jacket, it's $22.95. There is a price tag, so this is not a book club edition. Another thing we're going to look at for this book in particular is that it has gray inside papers. The later editions have white. And when we look at the copyright page, it's going to say pretty much the same kind of stuff. First published in 1986 by Viking Penguin. And it's not really going to give us any other really good information on here. Like I said, if we put this right next to the book club edition, I think they're going to look exactly the same. Later editions will actually tell you second printing, third printing, and so on and so forth, I think. But I don't have any examples of that to show. So that's what we're looking for this style. Alright, now here we can see a more modernized kind of example of how to tell if it's a first printing or second printing or so forth and so on. So these are first edition books. When we open them, we see they have the price tag, or price on the inside dust jacket. When we switch over to copyright page, we see that it's a first trade edition, and we see that there's a bunch of numbers here. Now these are the print runs. So we see that the number 1 is present, which shows us that this is the first printing. When we get to the second printing, that number 1 disappears, and we see the number 2, so on and so forth. So this is the first printing of the first trade edition of this book. Now here we have a later printing of a different book. So this is The Skeleton Crew, we open it, we see there is a price present inside the dust jacket. And when we flip over to the copyright page, it's a twofer. So we look down here and we see the same example. It's missing a bunch of numbers, but we see the number 5 is the lowest number. So this is actually the 5th printing of this book. So it's still the 1st edition, but it's going to be the 5th print run. All right, so I hope that was helpful. I hope it made sense. I hope I made sense. I hope that can carry over so it can be helpful to you to find your 1st edition first prints of Stephen King, or that it can carry over to other books as well. And you can figure out what editions and print runs you have for these books, and you can make lots of money or save lots of money, depending on what you're trying to do. Yo, dog. You're going to be our outro.